So Marcus is an ad exec for the brand Chantress. I hope I'm saying that right. And so it's a beauty brand that it seems like it's catered to Black women, and it is merging with Lady Eloise, which is another beauty. Yeah, it's another beauty brand. She's the face of the beauty brand, and Lady Eloise is actually acquiring the company that Marcus works for. And when Marcus enters his workplace, you can tell that he is a ladies' man. He is a charmer. He loves his job. One of the reasons he loves his job is because he can be surrounded by these beautiful women. What I found interesting is that because the first minute of the film, it's just him greeting everyone as he walks into the office. It's really like a workplace drama. You know, we never meet Marcus's parents.
No,
we only see one of his neighbors. Everything is taking place in the workplace. And what I found interesting is that all of the women that he says hello to, they are either in a cubicle or they're just out and about walking. Like, no one seems to hold a position of significant power in the company. And I feel like when he meets Jaqueline, that's one of the reasons why he's just so enthralled with her. Like, he's just,
well, he was surprised because
he thought she was a model.
What does he meet her, like in the elevator or like in the, was it reception area or something?
Yeah, it looks like a little newsstand area. She's reading a magazine. They get on the elevator together. Yeah.
And he's like, oh, I have this important meeting, you know. I can't remember the words, but he's just like, you know, I have a meeting with this important person. And she's like, oh, really? Okay. Well, hi, your meeting's with me.
Yeah. Like, I just started today. I work with Lady Eloise. He said, oh, well, I'm head of marketing there. She's like, oh, no, my dear, I am head of marketing. So I'm wondering if some of his infatuation has to do with her superior position.
Yeah. I think this is a story, and I was watching, I think it was like an interview he did with, was it Jay Leno? And he was saying how the movie is about, you know, this playboy, and then who meets his match in Jaqueline. You know, I think about a guy who's just used to just, you know, having his way, or just having women just fawn over him, and you know, him being just a macho man, and you know, he can pick and choose who he wants for the night or whatever. And we see him pick and choose Layla Rashawn. Can't remember what her character's name is.
Christy,
yeah. You just see him like, he's just, oh, I want that one. Okay, let me get her.
Yeah.
So that's like his attitude. And then Jaqueline, she kind of poses like she's not that easy. Like, you can't just pick and choose her for the night.
Yeah.
Like, you know, it's kind of like toe to toe. And then as we get further into the movie, she kind of, the roles are kind of reversed, in where she kind of treats him like she's the man, like
there is certainly, gender roles are certainly under investigation here.
Right.
Because Marcus is definitely treating women like property that he wants to acquire. And as soon as he has acquired them, they are just these items that are on like an itemized spreadsheet that he will never return to. I shouldn't even call them like property, because you tend to your properties, but no, they're just like check marks. Yeah, like so what's interesting to me is like, I thought that the costuming was really interesting, because when we meet Christy is walking in Afghan She's in all white. She looks incredibly angelic. When they have their date,
Wait, can I say one thing with the all white down to the stockings and the little white church shoes? I'm like, yo, this is so 1992. Because
her dog is white. Her dog is white. Like, she's matching with her dog.
But when I saw the stockings, I was like, oh Lord. Like, and what? How you find these white kitten heel shoes?
Girl, she found them, girl, and she is walking her dog during a work day. I'm like, what? It seemed like the work hour. I'm like, where you work, Christy? What's going on? But when they meet for their date, she comes to his house. She's in this like light purplish lavender, really tight dress.
No, wait. There's a fuchsia. That was a color of the
fuchsia.
90s.
Yes. Fuchsia? So she's in a fuchsia dress, fuchsia shoes, fuchsia earrings, fuchsia lipstick. And what's interesting is that his Marcus's black sweater has some like purplish fuchsia like color blocking in it. When he is, so I thought to myself, like, what does this mean? It feels like there's no complexity to a Christy.
She came off as very simple.
Very much so.
Even in her conversation, she was just very simple. They didn't have much of a conversation. It was like they met because he pretended like he lost his dog because he saw her with a dog. So he wanted to, I guess, fake connect over loving dogs.
Yeah.
And that was his game. It worked. And it's like, that's the depth of their conversation. Yeah. Oh, I love my dog. You love your dog? Oh, we're both dog lovers. Okay. And then, I mean, that was all Marcus needed. Like, he just saw a pretty girl. That's like.
It's an easy get for him. It's an easy get for him because she is very simple. She's an open book. There's no hidden agenda with her. They go back to her place. Baby girl got stuff. They go to his place first, but then they go to her place. And she got stuffed animals on the bed.
I saw that.
And that would have just made me very uncomfortable.
Yes. Like, how old are you, Christy?
How old are you? And two, how old are you, like, emotionally and intellectually? Because I just don't feel comfortable doing this with the, I just don't feel comfortable. So that's Christy.
And then you missed the important part. So Marcus has this foot fetish.
He does.
They're in the bed. They already done the deed. And he lifts the covers off her feet just like to see what she's working with. And, toenail polish is busted. She got corns all over the feet. And at that point, he's like, oh, I'm out. Like, it's like, that's what did it.
Yeah.
For him to be out. And then even the conversation, the funny conversation between him and his boys, when he was like, oh, I just can't do it. Her feet. And then Martin, he was like, what you mean? Like, you don't fuck her feet. Like, what are you talking about?
You knew you weren't gonna be with her anyway. Like, you wasn't like, so what was the point of looking at the feet? Does he look at Lady Eloise's feet? Because he sleeps with her as well. I don't remember him doing that, but I think it's also.
I know when she was dancing on the bed, she had her shoes off. Well, she put her foot in front of him for him to take her shoes off, and she had her on stockings too. Yeah. But I guess.
But he doesn't like deliberately do the test because one, he knows that he doesn't want to be with her, and he knows he's only sleeping with her to get the head marketing position at the company.
Let's pause right there because this is kind of like a role reversal because we always hear about women kind of sleeping up to like get the job. This is a man who's sleeping up to get the job.
Yeah. And it's funny when he does it. It's not unfortunate. It's not catty when he does it. It's just funny. Well, I mean, it's also funny because it doesn't work.
True.
because she doesn't have any power in the company. But I wanted to like take it back to like to tie her to Christy. Lady Eloise is not childlike in the way that Christy is, but she also dresses in a monochromatic fashion. Like when we first see her, I believe she's in an all green number. She's got on green shoes. She got a green headband on. When Marcus goes to her home, she's got on a red dress, red headband, red shoes. When they are in her bedroom, she's got on this gold getup, and everything is gold. Like even her stockings have like a little goldish tint to it. So even though like she's not childish in the way that Christy is, I felt like that costuming was trying to suggest to us that, like Christy, her motives are also a little bit more simple. There's no complexity to her either. Like she's just out to pleasure herself. There's nothing that we need to figure out with Lady Eloise. Nothing at all. I did appreciate the fact that all of her servants were men. All of them. Her butler, her assistant, men.
The assistant who was kind of laughing at Marcus because the assistant knew what was going on. Because the assistant knew that, oh, y'all, you. It was more like you are her catch. The way that Marcus at the beginning was like thinking he can just pick and choose whoever he wants to be with for the night. This is Lady Eloise. She's picking and choosing Marcus. She's like, oh, I want that one tonight, and I'm gonna get that one tonight, and she did. And
she knows about his reputation as a ladies' man.
Yeah.
Who other than Boney T is talking about him in this way? Just the other woman in the office?
I think probably.
And a Nanette sexual harassment suit came up. You know, they do tackle that on the show Boomerang.
Okay.
Yeah. So that's interesting. How do you feel about Marcus's friends? Gerard and Tyler.
It was almost like they were played as Gerard was the more sensitive friend. Like he was all about love and wanting, romance. And then Tyler, that's his name, Tyler, Martin's character. He was more like, just more aggressive, just get to it. And then, because then they teased him, it was like, man, you don't know nothing about love, or you're not sensitive. They was teasing him about that. And then Marcus was kind of like almost in the middle. Like he knew how to play sensitive, but then he knew how to play kind of like, what do you call it? Not rough, but like just
aggressive, like a lack of emotional center.
Yeah, lack of emotion. Yeah. No attachment. He wasn't trying to be attached to nobody.
He is. Go ahead.
No, so you can tell Gerard wanted he wanted to be in a relationship. Tyler was not trying to be in nobody's relationship.
Yeah.
And Marcus was kind of like playing defense on both sides.
I really like that because even in the way they're set up physically, like he's always seen as being in the middle. Like when they're at lunch, he sits in between them. When they're at the gym on those row machines, he's sitting in the middle. And it does seem like if we are to think about them on this spectrum, Tyler is like all dog, Gerard is all sensitivity, Marcus sits like firmly in the middle. Now you would think that it would give him kind of like the best of each world, but it seems like he's using the knowledge of both of those camps to be more destructive.
It's part of his game.
Yeah.
Like that's his whole game, to come off as like this sensitive guy, but then turn around like, ha, no, I'm not. I'm just gonna play you like any other dude out here.
So he meets Jaqueline in an elevator. Jaqueline breaks the news to him that Lady Eloise doesn't have any power in the company. All of the executive decisions get made by a group of white men who sit in Paris, the board.
And this was after he slept with Lady Eloise.
After. So you did all of that for Nathan. And so she is the head of marketing. He will assist her. He still has like a significant role in the company, but he's not head of marketing. And as they're walking to her office, you see there's some people leaving and some people are crying. Some of them are on their way out. One of the new folks who joins the company is Angela. I don't know Angela's exact position, but she's an artist and she creates, you could tell like she's on the creative team. So obviously she's going to be assisting Marcus and Jaqueline in some capacity because she's going to be behind some of the creative designs that they use. I feel like Angela was always set up to be like the complete opposite of Jaqueline. However, I feel like there's not much difference between them.
You mean Angela was supposed to be more, because Jaqueline is very powerful in the sense, just career-wise, but she's more corporate, one, and she was more, what do you call it? I don't say out there with her sexuality, but she was very, she had a lot of sexual energy or, power that she just exuded. Like she knew she was that girl. Angela, on the other hand, I know they said it's kind of weird because we're talking about Halle Berry, her sister Robin Gibbons. So I think that's kind of like, I hear a lot of people when they talk about Boomerang, they're like, Halle Berry being like the girl, like, come on now, this is Halle Berry.
No, but they play her. Angela is not meant to be ugly. She's not meant to, but but
she's meant to be like the girl next door, like the artsy
girl next door,
the artsy girl.
Yeah, artsy.
She's not like super corporate, not boss woman, but more like, I'm an artist. I work with children. More of a sensitive role as opposed to Jaqueline, who's more like powerful woman, executive, I'm the boss, that type of energy. Angela has a different energy about her.
I think that Angela and Jaqueline have a different energy, but the intentions feel similar to me. So Jaqueline is constantly like flirting with Marcus, and the flirtation it feels evident to me. But I also feel like Angela has been flirting with Marcus this whole time, even though it's not like it's a little bit more underhanded. It's a little bit more like there's a little bit more finesse to it. Like she's trying to get to know him. Like there's a roundabout fashion to her flirting as opposed to Jaqueline, who's just like, yeah, I think you cute, but I don't date men I work with. So we just about to tease each other for the first like 20 minutes of this film. You know what I'm saying?
Do you think Angela's flirting was more intentional or just her just being nice and just kind of like getting to know him? Because sometimes I think as women, it's kind of difficult, or you can read flirting or misread flirting as just, oh, this is a nice guy at work. Let me just hang out with him or get to know him because he seems cool.
So I'm going to jump ahead. We all have seen Boomerang. You listening, you have seen Boomerang. But Jaqueline and Marcus they hook up on a trip to New Orleans. Marcus, you could tell he gets very serious real quick. Jaqueline kind of wants to keep him on the back burner. Marcus kind of set Gerard and Angela up on his way to like.
He was trying to push Angela off on Gerard so he can get with Jaqueline.
Absolutely. And so
I was saying the Thanksgiving dinner, is Angela is more of, she's Gerard's friend, because when Gerard's parents are there, they even make a comment. It's like, oh, you look like you could be one of Marcus's girls.
Yeah.
And they're like, no, not really. I'm just friends. And they even, and then there was a I guess a little thing about, well, are you and Angela and Gerard dating? And they're like, we're just friends.
Just
like
friends. After that Thanksgiving dinner, when everyone leaves, Angela and Marcus are home alone and they begin to kiss. Well, to me, yeah. To me, I feel like that energy is not coming from nowhere. This has been building up. You've been like this dude.
I can see that.
Like them. Like, it doesn't make sense for you. Why are you coming over to the house of the guy you used to date, his friend, meeting his parents, and then you gonna be on the couch kissing old boy? Like, what?
You don't think maybe just they connected? They had a connection over Star Trek.
Over Star Trek. Oh, Star Trek
connection.
We're gonna cut it out today. Maybe when I was 10, that made sense. Like, oh my God, they're sitting on the same couch and they cook this food together and they're friends. No, you've been like this.
Okay. Man. Yes, we can say, I can agree that she probably liked him. I had a crush on him. But Marcus, what's he doing? Because he like literally pushed her off on his friend so he can date with Jaqueline, and then Jaqueline kind of played him, or she showed him that, honey, I can have you and dismiss you the same night. And so he's like, what do I do now? Who do I go to now?
I think that Marcus still has some of that. I don't think that he's like a sex addict, but I feel like he's a man who really enjoys the physical company of women. And so if a beautiful woman is kissing him, he's not going to turn that away. Even if he's breaking some type of bro code, and I mean, I guess we can debate whether or not he is breaking some type of code by dating a woman who once dated his friend. So I think that maybe things were building up in him as well, and he just didn't recognize it because he had been friends with her. So and I'm not saying that. Go ahead.
I was gonna say Marcus only got with Angela because he couldn't get with Jaqueline the way he wanted to.
Oh, you think she a rebound?
Yes.
No.
Yes, and it started that way. Maybe I can see they formed feelings afterwards, but he wasn't checking for Angela day one.
Now, what I will say, so they developed the Strange ad and it's a success. They, meaning Marcus and Angela, presented to Jaqueline. Now, Marcus and Angela are in the boardroom sitting right next to each other. This is a boardroom. There are several seats that they can sit at, but they're sitting right next to each other, all snuggly close. So to me, it felt like, are you trying to make Jaqueline jealous in this moment? Like, possibly. Is he using Angela?
Yes, I think Angela was like a rebound for Marcus. He was not checking for her.
Dang.
He wasn't checking for her.
But when they got together, it all felt genuine to me. Like, maybe. I feel like Angela always liked Marcus. Always.
Yes.
Marcus's feelings might be a little newer. They might be new, but I think that he genuinely cares for her. Now, he don't know how to treat her just yet. He got a lot of improvement. Like, he got stuff to work on.
Yeah, but it's like the guy. It's like if you like the guy and he's like not checking for you because he's trying to go with this other girl who's supposed to be, Miss Popular or whatever, and that don't work out. Then he come back to you like, oh yeah, you really are a nice girl or a good girl. It's like, you go back over there where you came from. Don't be coming back to me thinking, oh yeah, you are nice.
The first hour and 20 minutes of the film is Marcus obsessing over Jaqueline.
Yeah.
So I think the writers and the directors and the actors did a really good job of making me believe that Marcus and Angela were a unit and a strong unit. Because the film is only like 2 hours long. So we don't have much time with Angela and Marcus together.
Nope.
You can't get with a dude who has been obsessing over your boss.
No, like it's a no win. Like,
and then not expect for him to still be obsessing over her.
Yeah.
I don't get what Angela was trying to do. I don't get it. But we love Angela. Can we talk about Strange for a second?
Yes, one of my favorite scenes in the movie.
Which one?
Guess which one it is.
Will she take off them drawers? Or her entrance? Her entrance?
No.
You are nasty. The restaurant? Please describe the restaurant scene, please. Because typically I am the raunchy one, but I would love for you to describe the restaurant
scene. I love her monologue. It's a business dinner. Jaqueline excuses herself for some reason. Like I don't even remember that. I just remember the part I like when it's just Strange and Marcus alone. And she goes to him and she's like, so when are me and you gonna fuck? And then he's just like, what? And she's like, Jaqueline told me you're really good in bed. And he was like, oh, she told you I'm really good in bed. And she's like, yeah, Jaqueline said you really know how to move your ass. And he's like, and so she's like, Strange just like putting it on him to the
all
point
the way
where
out.
She's like, she turns it up. I wish I knew the whole thing. I'm gonna memorize it one day. But then she's like, you don't want this pussy? And he's just like chokes on his water. And then she's like, no one can turn down this pussy. No, not this pussy. And he's like, be quiet, stop saying that. She was like, what? Pussy, 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 pussy. And then she was like, what's the matter? You don't like women? And he's like, yeah, that's right. I don't like women. I'm gay. He was like, gay? You're not gay. I know a gay man. My brother, he's gay. That man over there, he's gay.
Just gay. Outing everybody.
And then it ends in French. So I'm like, this is the best scene ever.
It really was.
It is.
It really was. I think that if Marcus were a woman, I would have felt offended because no, you're not telling this person's business. And why does Strange think that she just has access to Marcus's body like that?
Because every other woman does.
So
yeah, it's not right, but
it ain't right at all. Because what I want to know about Strange
said you're really good in bed. That's why. Jaqueline said you know how to really move your ass.
Yeah. I mean, Jaqueline ain't doing nothing that Marcus ain't did. Marcus go back and tell his friends about Christy. The only person he doesn't say much about is Lady Eloise, and that's because he's embarrassed about it. My favorite Strange scene is when she is testing out her perfume with the chemist Lloyd, who plays the father in The Color Purple. And she says, I hate it, but this tested very well. It's like, I said I wanted the essence of sex. I think this is it. You would. This girl take off her drawers. What I don't understand is how y'all wear y'all drawers. I wear my drawers under my stockings if I have on stockings. She just got access to her drawers and she just take them off, even though she got on some fishnet stockings. I don't get how she just has access to them.
Listen, it's the movie.
But I also think that is how Shanjay would wear her underwear.
Over her stockings.
I think that's how she would do it. I don't think that this is something where we have to like suspend our logic because this is a movie. I don't think that's it. I think that's how Shanjay would her draw, like straight up. But what I love about this scene, she takes off her underwear and just smears them all over this chemist's face, who just looks like he is a gentleman. Like he looked like he don't curse. He looked like he don't listen to loud music. He goes home and listens to classical music. This is a gentle man. So he is completely disgusted. He doesn't know what to do. Nelson over there like, unbelievable. So like Lloyd runs out and Marcus like runs after him. And the reason I say like Marcus is a charmer is because the way he deals with Lloyd, he doesn't like, it's not like, hey, this man to man is business, don't let this lady like make you miss out on your money, like this your job. Like he doesn't order him to go back into the room. He doesn't try and reason with him. He tickles him. It feels very like I'm a charmer. I'm not going to use logic to persuade you. I'm just going to charm you. He does the same thing with Nelson at the very beginning of the film, because Nelson has created a commercial and it's just raunchy. He got women sucking on bananas, licking cherries. It's just very phallic. He got too much going on. And Marcus is like, hey, we might want to, I love the orange, but let's rethink the cherries and got to lose the banana. But don't think I didn't like it. I do like it. Don't make that face. Don't make that face. It's like, that's the way do you see what I'm talking about? Like
he has a way with people.
He has a way with people that feels flirtatious to me. I don't think that he wants to sleep with Lloyd. No. I don't think he wants to sleep with Nelson, but I think he wants them to like him.
Yeah. He's a likable guy. Like he's not hard. He's not like a gangster. He's not, he comes off as just a very likable guy. He's not going to beat you up in the street.
Yeah.
He's not going to curse you. Like, he's Marcus.
My God. I've already said that I feel like Angela is playing games, but I feel like Jaqueline is playing games as well. Do you agree?
Jaqueline, let's see. So they spent the night going back to their New Orleans trip. They went to New Orleans for business. They sleep together. Is that when she like leaves? And no, they go on a date. What happened after New Orleans? Is it when
after New Orleans?
After he was trying to call her. When was he trying to call her and couldn't get in touch?
Yeah, so after New Orleans, he comes back into the office and he's Mr. Lovey-dovey. And she says, you're not getting serious on me, are you? And he says, no, but when can I see you again? And she says, I'll have my assistant reach out to you. And so her assistant does, she has a male assistant, which I think is interesting. And he pencils him in for like a date that's 3 weeks from now. So he buys tickets to some show and she never makes it. She never comes. She kind of stands him up. And so he, that night, she appears at his home. So
it's raining. Paint the scene. It's raining.
It is
and
raining.
She comes in with a trench coat on, and he's mad. He's like, I paid for these tickets, and
$200.
$200. And she's just like, okay. And, he's just expressing his feelings. And then she opens up the trench coat, nothing but lingerie, nice matching bra and panty set. And she was like, are you still mad? And of course he's Marcus. He's not mad no more. And so he's like, oh, so you had this all planned. And then that's when they sleep together. Then in the morning, she leaves the $200 in the nightstand, and then she's gone, which I think is the biggest, bossiest move ever.
Yeah. And he feels like taken advantage of the way he's holding the sheets to his chin, like, oh my gosh, like I feel dirty. But it's not even in the morning, Nicole. It looks like it's still dark outside. Like she don't even wait till the sun is up. She goes home after. She's like, look, I'm done. I'm done with you. And I'm gonna pay for it. Here go your $200. Here go that bag. So I don't owe you nothing. Boom. I'm
not mad at Jaqueline.
I'm not mad at Jaqueline. I'm not mad at Jaqueline.
You know the game.
So like at the party where we're being introduced to Shawnjay, and she comes in on a carriage that's being led by 4 white men, and she whipping them. He like makes it clear that I'm interested in you. And she says, like, I don't date men that I work with. And then she says, hold on. You have an eyelash about to go into your eye. And she holds his face and blows into, baby, what are we doing? What are we doing here? She wants there to be some sexual tension there.
Well, yeah, but she doesn't want to date him. That's 2 different things.
They're 2 different things, but why are you flirting with me?
Because she wants to sleep with him. She doesn't want to date him. 2 different things.
You don't have to flirt. I don't know. I kind of feel like we ain't got to. Well, maybe you do need to flirt, or I don't know. I mean, there needs to be some, But yeah, I guess you're right. But once you know that this person has feelings for you that don't align with yours, I feel like it's time to stop. That's why I didn't like Lawrence and how he was doing Tasha and Insecure. This girl wants to be with you, and you are still having sex with her, knowing that you have no intention on fulfilling anything that she wants. Now, I will say there's never a point where Tasha like verbalizes like, hey, this is what I want from you. It is assumed, but I feel like you know what it is because of the way she's acting. Jaqueline, why are you even bothering to deal with this person if you know that you have no intentions on being as serious as he does?
But do you think she probably didn't believe he wanted to be serious based on his reputation around the office? And she knew, didn't she? That's know true. She knew that he slept with Lady Eloise. Remember then they have that comment. So she was like, honey,
you're a playboy. You're a playboy. You're not serious.
Don't play with me.
But I feel like once she knew that he was like kind of feeling her for real, she could have. Now, don't get me wrong. I do not feel sorry for Marcus because this is what you've been doing to every woman
Tisha
you
Campbell.
have gotten with. Absolutely.
She gonna leave me. You just gonna wait a minute, girlfriend. Hey, girlfriend. She got signs up.
I just want to know where.
Don't walk away.
I want to know where she work. Because y'all got these banging condos.
Nice.
And you got the time to be bothering this man. New York City, like we ain't on Long Island, like we ain't in Queens. It feels like we got condos in Midtown here.
Yeah, it looks like Manhattan.
Absolutely.
So Angela and Marcus get together.
Yes.
But Marcus is still liking Jaqueline, and Were they living together?
I don't think that she still had her place,
But they
but she
were
was spending a
like,
lot of time there. Like you could tell she kept the bag there. She kept a lot of her stuff there.
because my other favorite part was when he didn't come home one night. Because he was with Jacqueline. Well, he went to see Jaqueline and they didn't do it. Jaqueline was ready with the matching bra and panty set, but he walked away and he goes back home.
There's some things you can't really explain. And she was like, yeah, like what? And he's like love. And
she was like, love should have brought your ass home last night. Love, what do you know about love? You don't know nothing about love.
She's like, I'm sick and tired of men acting like. She goes on, that monologue about love is serious.
She goes, you know what? I may not be all glamorous with hair weave down my back, but I have a heart. And you know what happens to girls who have a heart? They get broken. Dealing with, did she curse?
I don't know. I didn't like that hair weave comment though. I didn't appreciate
dealing with
it.
Motherfuckers like you. Well, this is the 90s. So, remember in the 90s, it was like hair weave versus, hair weave was a big thing. Like you couldn't tell people you had a weave.
It was a big thing.
Like, I could not tell people you had a weave.
Yeah. I mean, your hair, she had a short haircut, but it was still relaxed. Like you still straightened your hair. Because like it wasn't all natural. I know, but I'm saying like everybody playing this corporate game, like don't be shitting on the ladies with the weave now.
But remember 1992, it's like, having a hair weave down your back, girls was lying. Yes, this is my real hair. No, it's not.
Lying or not, all I'm saying is like you are positioning yourself as separate from women who wear hair weaves down their back. For what purpose?
That was a thing. Now it sounds ridiculous. It sounds
ridiculous in 92.
No, it doesn't.
Yes, it does. Because you're still like,
it was a thing.
It seems like she was trying to set Jaqueline up as someone who was a little fakey. It's like, baby.
Well, not fake, but more glamorous.
How is she not girl? Makeup. Other than if you had hair weave, you and Jaqueline is what and what. And again, all you have is a short do. Your hair, you are not rocking Afro puffs to the workplace. Like, so you're not.
No one in 92 did.
What I'm saying is that you are not presenting your most authentic self in the workplace. So like, I'm never gonna shit on anybody who is doing more to hide their natural features. Like I just cannot do that. Knowing the space that we're in.
I think it was more of her trying to say that she's not, like you said, glamorous. I know it's weird because we're talking about Halle Berry.
We're talking about Halle Berry, and the fact that to me it seemed like she was saying men don't go for women like me.
Yeah, that's her character.
Gerard went for you, and you're with Marcus. Like, cut it out. Like, stop. We'll have to agree to disagree on that
Men definitely went for the girls with the hair weave down their back.
And Angela is saying that as she's in a relationship with Marcus.
Yes, but you have to say it was a thing.
It absolutely was a thing. I'm just saying that I don't really see why she had to use that specific thing to set herself apart from other women. That's all I'm saying.
She's not, because I'm not all glamorous. I don't have hair weave down my back, but I have a heart. That's a point. She has a heart.
Girl.
You know what happens to girls who have a heart? It gets broken. Dealing with motherfuckers like you.
But you don't have to deal with him. You could have
hold on.
Your safe choice was Gerard.
She was Toni Braxton.
She turns into this cold, calculated, kind of aggressive, really mean person at the end of the movie.
I think she was just hurt.
Did she have to take that into the workplace?
Yes. She's hurt.
I'm taking care of my business. It's like, okay. You got to be an asshole to everybody. Like the way she was talking to her staff just felt like, oh, gross.
She was hurt.
I don't think women already have to deal with the assumption that if things are not going right in their home, they're going to treat their staff wrong. Like I have been told, there have been women who have said to me, I don't like working with a female boss because if they man getting on their nerves, they come in there with a bad attitude. I'm like, okay, girl. So women already have to deal with this. Okay. Like I feel like, you know, women already got to deal with that.
Female boss.
I just prefer one who's emotionally together. That's all I care.
True.
They man, woman, gender neutral, like gender queer. I don't care. True. Just have your shit together. But you know what? We the boss. So we ain't got to, you know.
Exactly.